Remember Me is a show about the sudden rise to fame.
Each week, we talk to the people who burst onto our screens.
We talk about the highs, the lows, and what happens when the attention fades.
From tabloid chaos
to early internet madness.
I'm Maisie Adam.
I'm Scott Bryan.
And this is Remember Me. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you never miss an update or an episode.
The thing about it is that we were really subtle.
Really subtle.
And
really subtle.
subtlety really works between us.
We don't care if you enjoy it or like it, but
I mean, that would
do like and subscribe.
Do. We do care.
No, we don't. We're really nonchalant. We're really nonchalant, but do like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And leave a good review if you want.
If you want.
It's no
big deal.
It's fine
you
either
don't have
way.
to do it. You don't have to.
Welcome back to Remember Me, and it's time now for part 2 with Dom Joly.
Who? Fame was incredible for me at a certain level. When it got mental, when it got to sort of end of Channel 4 BBC levels, where it was just like you belonged to newspapers, and suddenly you were fair game for tabloids. My personal life, I was like, this is not. I'm not trying to be that. I don't go to premieres or things like that. That was weird. But overall, Fame opened doors for me. So it allowed me to start writing for the Sunday Times.
Yeah.
Now, they wouldn't have kept me if I couldn't write.
Yeah.
And it allowed me to get my first proper book, where I've written 10 books now.
Yeah.
So it's given me such opportunity to do things and do amazing things. My problem is I just get bored. Like, I'd finished Trigger Happy. I thought, like, an album. I've made 2 albums. Now I'm going to do something else. I want to be a travel writer. I wanted to go and do... And I've done lots of stuff. I've had the most incredible 25 years. But I think people think, what the fuck is it you do? and they just think, oh, he's the big mobile guy. So I haven't helped myself.
But that must have been quite having a 2 series, big series, get offered more, and then going, nah, mate.
Well, I was
Why
offered
did you
more.
turn them down?
Well, so this is, if you want my thing, if someone said to me, have you got any advice to anyone in show business? I've got it now. I know what it is. You never, ever make a major decision straight off the back of having finished something. So if you've made an album or you finished a series, you hate each other, you've finished it.
Oh yeah,
you should always just take 3 months off, go and do something stupid, then come back and reassess. And in hindsight, I didn't realise how lucky I was that the very first thing I did was my Golden Goose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, I had slight imposter syndrome because I didn't write Trigger Happy. It's just this thing that comes naturally to me.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt, did I earn that? If I'd have realised that, yes, I do have a skill, I would have probably said, look, I'll make a Trigger Happy TV every 3 years.
Yes.
But meanwhile, I want to go and do weird things. As it was, I was like, it's like me leaving the band, and I'm now going to do my solo project, my jazz odyssey that no one's interested in whatsoever.
Your wings.
So I went to the BBC, and again, I'm so kind of trying to overthink it. I think, what do people like me do when they go to the BBC and they've had a massive hit and they got a big deal? Well, they do a Johnny Vaughan. They have their own chat show, and they become, frankly, appalling. Yeah. And so I thought, I'll do that. And my wife said, don't you think you should call it This Is Dom Joly, not This Is Dom Joly? Because I did a 2-series chat show on BBC 3 where I was playing a cunt, frankly.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point. I was supposed to be an idiot. And I thought 20% of the people watching would think, oh, this is a car crash. And 80% would think, I see what he's doing. I think 98% watched it and thought he's a cunt.
Yeah.
Oh, so, they didn't think that you were playing a part.
No, not at all. I thought it was so clear. And then I suddenly realized, how would they know? They don't know who I am. So they just think, oh, this is the first time we've seen him as him. I was wearing glasses. So I thought, there you go. I don't wear glasses.
Yeah.
My wife was like, what are you doing?
And that must have impacted the relationship with Fame as well. If people that were clocking you thought you were that character.
That actually, they didn't. Like, that was weird. They didn't. But what happened was I suddenly became a real target for reviewers and tabloids and stuff, who I think thought this guy didn't really deserve Trigger Happy. It was tall poppy syndrome, and that's totally fair enough. Yeah. And that really killed my confidence. Yeah, because I didn't have confidence anyway. Like, Trigger Happy happened, but I sort of felt I didn't deserve it. And that just sent me into a spiral. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I had a horrible time.
Yeah.
So what happened next?
So I had one more show left at the BBC, and it was just being slammed at the BBC.
As in the existing chat show, or was it?
Yeah, I had 3-series deal. So I did 2 shows. I launched BBC 3, and then I did a second one. Alan Yentob had lured me to the BBC by taking me to the River Cafe, and while I'm there, he takes a call from Mick Jagger. It was like, fuck me.
That is the most Alan Yentop
so
thing. Literally.
Yeah. And then I told him, because I was showing off, because I love Bowie, and he'd made all these great arenas on Bowie. I said, I love the stuff you did on Bowie. Next day, he sends me all his videos, because he's so egotistical, or was so egotistical. But he was all over me. By sort of halfway through the second, This Is Dom Joly, like, if he saw me in the corridor, he'd turn around and run. So I knew that my days at the Beeb were over. And I thought, okay, I'd better like put a banker in. Mm-hmm. All they want is trigger happy, but I love travel. So I did this show called World Shut Your Mouth, which I still actually think is my best show. It's so odd. But it went out.
But it's great though.
Yeah, it went out on BBC One, which is just so wrong for it. And it was amazing. So if people ask me what makes me laugh, it's to travel vast distances, make a massive effort to do something totally pointless.
Yeah.
And that's what that was about. I went all the way to Newfoundland to frighten an Eskimo, and I drove 5 hours, found a guy ice fishing, just put cymbals behind and ran away.
Let me of your brilliant mind. Let me out of your brilliant mind. Let me your brilliant mind.
BBC were watching all this, just going, what the fuck are you doing? And then I finally finished it. I got taken into Jane Root's office. Was it Jane Root? I can't remember who was running BBC One. And she said,
Lorraine Hegarsley?
Oh, it was Lorraine Hegarsley. She said, oh, God, you're good. And she said, she didn't want this show.
Until 2004, I feel.
Yeah. She didn't want this show on BBC One at all anyway.
Oh, really?
She'd been forced. And she's looking at the rushes coming in of like me arsing around in like wherever. And she goes, look, you're going to have to pull something out the bag here. Like, you need something strong at the beginning of each show.
Oh, bloody hell.
And I said, well, I do have this idea. And she said, what is it? I go, well, I can't tell you. I can't talk my comedy. I just have to do it. Yeah. She goes, what does it involve? I said, it involves me going around the world in one uninterrupted trip to all 7 wonders of the world. And I'm just going to do the one joke, the same joke, at each wonder of the world. And that's it. And I could see her thinking, is there any way we can fire this cunt? And they couldn't. So in what the Daily Mail called the biggest waste of the licence fee payers' money in history, I went round the world to all 7 wonders of the world. I went to the Pyramids of Giza, Taj Mahal, Angkor Wat, the Great Wall of China, the Grand Canyon, all to do this joke that I honestly thought was going to be like, I'd be remembered for, like it was my thing.
Yeah.
And to give you an example of what it was, I went to the Taj Mahal, and it's dawn with the first people in, and it's that beautiful Diana shot of Taj Mahal.
The chair.
And I'm standing there waiting, and suddenly a real tourist comes in and starts staring, and I look at them, and they look at me, and then I sidle up to them, and I go, the Taj Mahal. And she goes, yeah, it's kind of ethereal. And then I leave it for a beat, and then I go, that is shit. The Taj Mahal.
It's almost ethereal.
That is shit. And then I walk off. And I did that, nothing else, at all 7 wonders of the world. And I came back to the BBC, and I had a meeting with Lorraine Hegarsley. And she just said, let me get this absolutely straight. We've just flown you and a crew around the world to all 7 wonders of the world. And you've just stood there and said, that is shit.
At each one.
To a random person, and that's it. I go, yeah, it's pretty strong, isn't it? 2 days later, she didn't say anything. 2 days later, I came in, and my card had been cancelled.
No.
I couldn't get into the BBC, and I was fired. And to empty my office, I wasn't allowed into the BBC. I had to join a public tour of the television centre and then go into my office. Absolute God's honest truth. So that was when I sort of exited mainstream comedy.
And then it was never shown, or that skit?
Well, the whole show, I mean, honestly, looking at it now, there are such strong things in that show. A lot of it's lazy because I'm just travelling around the world on their dollar, but there's some amazing stuff in it. And I think in the end, it went out at 11 o'clock at night on BBC One. BBC has never shown it again. It's never been shown anywhere. Like TV Gold or whatever those things are called. It's fucking great. Well, I don't know what it's called.
These shows, but
you know what's great? Because I'm going to tour it next. Yes. I'm going to tour my lost show next.
I love it.
Yeah.
These shows, they must have taken a toll though, Dom. Look at me. Job Dolly.
Job Dolly. That's what I should have called it. This is Job Dolly.
They must have taken a toll mentally and physically because of what was required of them.
Okay, we're going to go into the mental bit. So firstly, I grew up in Lebanon in a civil war. And I definitely now know that I must have had PTSD, like really bad.
Really?
Because I constantly thought my dad was going to be kidnapped. We'd be sitting in bomb shelters in the holidays. So that was a toll which built. Then, for reasons I don't know why, in my gap year, I had the biggest panic attack I've ever had when I was interrailing, and I couldn't get out of bed for about 5 months, and that killed me.
Whoa.
Then I had terrible panic attacks through my 20s, and then just as I was making Trigger Happy, halfway through the first Trigger Happy series, I remember the moment I was dressed as the Dutch tourist, and these panic attacks used to hit me when I was happy, like I'd be on holiday or whatever, that out of nowhere. It wasn't like something terrible had happened. And they would just constantly be there ruining my life. Wow. And I finally thought, oh my God, I've got this show, it's happening. And it was all going well. And I remember the scene, I was dressed as the Dutch tourist, had the big Union Jack hat and stuff, and I'm just talking bollocks to tourists. And I'm at Sloane Square Tube, and I get in a cab, and he goes, where do you want to go? And I go, my egg must be boiled. My egg must be boiled. And then I just stopped and got out of the cab. I said to Sam, I'm not very well. And I went home and I got diagnosed with clinical depression. And I was out for 6 weeks. Yeah. And insurance were going to close the production down. And I just thought, this is it. I've got here. And now mental illness is going to stop me. So I dragged myself back in. So that, on top of the fact that just the adrenaline highs of constantly approaching people in the street and sort of it works, it doesn't work. I was just a wreck after.
Of course.
And my wife reminds me now why I stopped Trigger Happy, because she said you were just, like, after shows, you just collapse, But
it's sort of like a catch-22, isn't it? Because, like, you'll be having a very anxious moment, and then that would give you more pressure to continue performing, which would add to the whole cycle, essentially.
But I also think there's a weird thing. I think because I'm susceptible to that, I'm susceptible to mental illness, if we're going to call whatever it is. I don't care what you call it. I think it opens a portal of your brain that, all that terrible stuff happens. I think that also allows you to access a very weird, interesting part of your brain where a lot of my comedy comes from. But I think the price you pay is that other door's opened as well. Yeah. And I think that's the same in a lot of comedians.
Yeah,
actually.
I agree.
So you could just be quite straight thinking and not have those problems, but maybe don't think weird thoughts.
Has that been something you've been able to get better at managing and balancing?
Yeah, I'm just incredibly sedated now. There's that line from Spinal Tap, if I wasn't so heavily sedated, I could deal with it. I get weirdly, the panic attack, I started taking antidepressants, which dealt with my panic attacks. Yeah. But I do feel that me taking the antidepressants happened just when my comedy career waned a little bit. So I wonder whether it's taken some magic away.
This is the anxiety, because you were just saying the link between the two. If you're taking something that you think would help yourself, you worry it would also hinder yourself.
I felt it was my magic dust somehow, and that if you change it, and weirdly I'm not on them now, and now I would be saying this, but I'm making really funny stuff with Sam. So who knows? I'm due a massive shattering nervous breakdown.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
You know what? I'm not worried about it though. Like, it is life. It's part of life, and I learned so much from that stuff, and I think it's really interesting. I think it means you're in touch with things. That's why I love music so much. It's almost like an obsession. Like, I've got heightened emotions. Like, people don't think that when they meet it, because I'm quite defensive and weirdly shy, but that I definitely have an oversensitivity to certain things. And I think that gives you great things, like an ability to be funny sometimes or choose good music, but it also comes with terrible things, which a lot of people in show business have. Yeah. It's probably why we all do this stupid job.
That's fascinating.
It's quite a serious point, but
no, but I think it's very true.
Yeah, and I've obviously looked into this a little bit too much, because I've never wanted to do therapy. I know why I'm like this, so I don't need to go back and find out why. What I want, I don't need to unpack. Yeah. All I want is coping mechanisms. Right. So I just want to find out what works. Give me a paper bag to breathe into, or something like that.
Solutions, not reasons.
Yes, very good. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to unpack. I hate unpacking.
I hate unpacking.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, just in life, anyway.
Well. Let's not go to the past. Let's go to the future. We know you've got the tour coming up. With future projects, is there a little bit of a hurdle of how you would change the tech, given we spoke so much about the time that Trigger Happy came about, and how much that was about, what was the name of the camera? The
VX1000.
A VX1000. I'm going to
That's
look
for
that
you,
up.
Tech fans. Sony VX1000.
But how do you adapt it?
So that's fascinating on lots of levels. So weirdly, I am doing this. So Sam and I got back together because I realised Trigger Happy, Sam went off to LA and literally became so LA, it was insane. He started wearing sort of man scarves and mirror shades, and it was just like all a bit weird.
Big
but
in LA.
He was earning stupid money in ads, and then the ad industry disintegrated, so he realized that he needed me again, which was great. So we got back together, and I realized it was 25 years since Trigger Happy had happened, and I thought, you know what, it all ended so weirdly. Sam suddenly left at the BBC.
Right.
I remember we were driving in a car, and he just said, I'm going. And I go, where are you going? He goes, I'm going to LA. I was like, what? What about me?
And how many years had you been working together by that point?
6 years.
6.
Yeah, it was like the end of Wham for me. Without
really
the
intense.
But we didn't have the Wembley.
No.
Sorry, that's quite a dated reference, but there you go.
Still works.
Yeah.
It does work.
And so anyway, I thought, it's 25 years. If I'm going to do something with Trigger Happy, I would like to sort of look at it again and at least celebrate it. That's what I wanted to do. So the first idea was I just rang up everyone that worked on it, and we all met in the pub on the 14th of January 2025, on the night it went out 25 years later. And it was amazing. Like, it was just so cool. Like, everyone hadn't talked about it.
Yeah.
So just on a personal level, that was so cool. And Sam and I really enjoyed it. And so we thought, okay, let's do 4 big shows. We'll do live shows, because I'm not a live performer. I'm not a stand-up, but I've kind of done 10,000 hours of what I call extreme PowerPoint with my weird shows now. And I thought, I can do a live show. How do you turn Trigger Happy into a live show? And it was a mixture of showing bloopers, answering questions that people talk about, like consent, showing just classic clips with a bunch of people watching, because it's a very different dynamic when people are laughing together on watching at home in school. But it wasn't quite enough, and I thought we've got to shoot some new stuff. Otherwise, it's just nostalgia. And every time I posted a clip of like an old Trigger Happy clip to try and promote the show, let's say the traffic warden in London, people go, oh, we couldn't do that now. You get stabbed. Everyone's too woke. You wouldn't laugh. I thought, really? This is a no stopping zone, I'm sorry.
Yeah, is it traffic?
What?
Is it traffic?
Well, I mean, there's always an excuse, but it is the law, I'm afraid.
I know, but it's the traffic.
Well, that's twice you've stopped now. Sorry. Sir, please, I'm going to have to ask you to move on, because this is absolutely no stopping. It's no parking, double yellow.
I'll stop for the traffic lights, you know?
You what?
Wait for the traffic light.
Are you? So we started by just taking 4 classic Trigger Happy clips and shooting them in exactly the same place 25 years later with a new spin.
Yeah.
And they were really funny,
Yeah.
but it was still old characters. And now we've started filming completely new characters. I've got a fantastic guy called the Crypto King of Dubai, who's been to Dubai once on holiday and now pays everything in fake cryptocurrencies and stuff. And then we thought, how do we shoot this? Like, because Sam's like an ad director, he's gone off and he's used to, he doesn't touch cameras anymore. He just sits and watches whatever. And so we sort of fiddled around with some SLRs and stuff. And in the end, we thought, fuck it, we've got to just stay what we did. So we shoot the whole thing on an iPhone.
Did you?
So with £250 radio mic set up. And you know what? It certainly looks better than Trigger Happy. And it's just exactly the same. And no one looks at us. And Sam can just get everywhere. And it's amazing. The thing that's really changed, though, is in the first thing we filmed was me doing the traffic warden again.
Yeah.
And the joke was, we got Sam's car. We put 400 parking tickets on it and 4 clamps, one on each wheel. And the joke was that he's showing off to people that this is Britain's first quadra clamp. It's Mayor Khan's new idea. You have to go to a different payment hub to release each one, and it's going to cost £12,000. Not far off what parking is now. So we set the car up, and we've got all these parking to camp on, and we're just ready to film. And between us doing that, ready to film, about 40 people walk past with their phones, start filming themselves in front of it, and I'm suddenly like, this is... You're nicking my... That never happened in the old days.
It just shows how much the world has changed.
Yeah, and I'm like, you're fucking nicking... This is my joke. What are you doing? And I thought, if I did the snail now, by the time I'd got across the road, 40 people would have filmed it. They'd have put it out online.
On TikTok,
and when I put it out, beautifully curated with a Bowie track, people would go, oh, you ripped off that bloke on TikTok. So we thought, how do we deal with that? And we've realised it's very simple, just very quieter streets. So we just shoot it in quieter streets.
I mean, that is fascinating, though, of like the world's approach to being on camera. It used to be, I think, Joe Public's worst nightmare to be caught on camera. If you think of that world of Trigger Happy TV, you've been framed, being caught. Oh God, what we're like now in this world of everything is content.
Yeah.
I want a slice of it. I'll put myself in your bit.
Well, that's interesting, but I don't think they're not thinking, oh, it's Trigger Happy, I can film it. They're just looking for something to boost their Insta. You know, you're providing content for their Insta. We should almost rent it out as that. I was thinking about this when I first watched Candid Camera, early Candid Camera, when it was really funny and surreal. Like in 1949, a guy got to the top of a hill in an old car, obviously, 1949. They just removed the whole engine, so there's nothing in the engine at all. And then they pushed it down a hill. He just drives it down the hill into a gas station, and he says to the guy, I don't know, the engine's just conked out, can you have a look? And the guy opens the engine, and there's no engine in there. And you can see he's totally freaked out, and that's great. But now, like, people are so aware of jokes and hidden camera. Even when Trigger Happy was happening, it was still an innocent time.
Yeah.
Like, people wouldn't immediately think, am I on TikTok?
Yes,
You know, whereas now you have to make something much more real so that people aren't thinking about being on.
Yeah.
And if they are, now when you ask them to sign it, they go, yeah, sure, but can I use a clip for my social media? Go fuck yourself. But then why shouldn't they? Because we've just done it.
Yeah. You mentioned there about people asking Q&As at the live shows and questions about the consent and stuff. There's a couple of questions Scott and I have got that we just want to know.
Excellent.
Are these real? You once bought a Banksy from the Tate Modern while filming a Trigger Happy sketch. Where's that?
I did. So
do you still have it?
I do. Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So it was when we were filming. It was an ice cream van outside the Tate, and we did a series of jokes in the ice cream van. One where I'd be dressed as a chef for some reason in the ice cream van, and someone came up and said, "Can I have something?" I go, "Sure." And then I just leave round the back of the van, join the queue behind. Another one, I go and lie on the roof of the thing. Another one, I just someone asked for an orange disco, and I set off a smoke machine, and I'm just dancing in there. And we just had a day of fucking about in an ice cream van. And at lunchtime, I just wandered into the Tate because I'm an art ponce, and I walk into the Tate, and in the shop in the Tate were 10 signed prints by this new artist called Banksy, and it was a helicopter gunship with a bow tie. It's quite a famous one.
Yeah.
And I'd seen, because Banksy's very similar to Trigger Happy in that if we could film something somewhere, we would always try and do it. If you're going to film it anyway, you might as well make it iconic.
Yes.
So if you're going to have a shot of an alley or Westminster, why not have a shot of the House of Commons?
Yeah.
So we'd always try and make it interesting. And Banksy used to have a stencil which he'd put in obvious places, just saying, not another bloody photo opportunity. And often we'd get to film somewhere and he'd already have put it up. So having seen Exit through the gift shop and a lot of these things, I now realise we were kind of, we had the same surreal sense of humour. We were on the, but we were sort of both on the streets doing weird stuff. So I bought this thing for 70 quid.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Probably worth a bit more now.
It's worth a little bit more now, which is nice, So that's the thing I bought in my life that's like appreciated the most.
Yeah.
Another random question.
But all I think is there were another 9 there. I could have just bought them. Yeah.
Wow.
Another random. I think I was going down to my mum's the other week, and you played my mum's village.
I played your mum's village. Oh, is that in Dorset?
Yeah.
I played the Recreate Festival.
Yes, you did.
Now, can I say?
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. But they pitched it as a major festival. I turned up, and it was just a marquee with 200 people. Come on,
okay,
it was 200
sorry.
people in Hayfield. They were the nicest people I've ever had. But but they had a whole LED screen.
Incredible. Really?
And I absolutely killed. The generator went out halfway through the first half, and I had to just shout. But that's fine. I can do that.
That is very.
But that was very weird. But it's a nice place.
It's a lovely place, but it was just so random.
They sent me a thing saying the people that had played there, and I think they did what I did. Prince was mentioned briefly, and I think they slipped in a couple of names that probably pulled out at the last minute.
See if he falls for it.
The artist formerly known as. Because
I loved it.
I mean, we'll bleep it because of a.
Why?
I don't want to let everyone know where my mum lives.
What are they going to do? Scour up?
It's a tiny little village.
So what?
In
you think?
Dorset.
Oh my
Privacy.
God. Someone's got to up themselves a little bit, haven't they?
A little bit, yeah. But but it was just so random because just for a little while, wherever you were getting into my mum's village, there'd be a big banner that would say,
me.
You'd say Dom Joly
Sing
playing
Dom
here in
Joly.
April at Recreate Festival.
This is what it's come to. Remember him.
I know.
See? Remember me.
Thank you.
There you go.
And lastly, is it true you sold your flat to Salman Rushdie?
I did, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, and so the best bit about that is it's the best joke I never did. So I was selling my flat, and the estate agent wouldn't tell me who the guy. He wouldn't let me be in the flat when the person came round. I thought it was a bit weird.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't tell me. So obviously, me being me, I just went and sat in my car and watched, and I saw Salman Rushdie come in. And this was still when he had his fatwa. It was like the end of the fatwa, but he still had a fatwa.
Yeah.
So firstly, I thought, fuck. I thought about my books, and I just thought, oh God, he's gonna judge me from my books. They're not good enough and stuff. And then I just started thinking about it, and I had a double roof terrace. And I thought, I told everyone I was going to do this, and I still wish I was going to do it. I wanted to retile the roof terrace, so the next time Google Earth came over, it was going to be a massive target, and it was just going to say Salman Rushdie lives here. But in the end, I thought, I can't do that, and thank God, because then he got stabbed, and maybe that would happen. But even weirder, he bought my flat, and then he said, because it was quite a cool flat, he said, I want to buy everything in here.
Oh, lovely.
And I said, well, I don't want to sell it, because I didn't. And so Salman Rushdie and I negotiated like we were in a souk in Marrakesh.
Over
and
what
he
could
bought
have.
everything. And I'd painted the outside of the flat orange. Like, this was not a subtle flat. And 4 weeks later, he's on Newsnight, and he's sitting in my flat. Like, it was
wow.
Because it was everything. It was just like I'd moved out and he'd moved in.
Yeah.
So that was very strange, but that was true. Yeah.
I mean, it's a bonkers ride, Dom.
It's definitely been a bonkers ride. It's been a good ride overall.
Now you're at this place where you're looking back at it as well.
Yeah.
Do you? It's such a, and I think that's really an interesting point of how you're only able to look at how you felt about it at the time.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Because when you're in it, you don't.
Yeah, and
you
also,
don't clock it.
You know, I mean, I could spend my whole life like thinking, oh, I wish I'd done something different.
So
overall,
yeah,
you know, I've had an amazing, like, if you told me at 17 what I've done, like the things I've done, I've been to 108 countries, I've done crazy shit. I would bite your hand off for it.
Of course.
Obviously, if I could do a couple of things, I would have probably not knocked Trigger Happy on the head, because I now realise it's the thing I'm probably really good at.
Yeah.
So why kill the thing? You know, it's like, it is just like stopping making the music everyone likes and going into experimental jazz.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Do the experimental jazz, but do it on the
Do it
side.
later or-
don't
on
leave the
the
band,
side, yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is what it is. I'm writing a little book about it for my tour, actually, about how Trigger Happy came about. And in a way, it's a book that I wish I'd had. Because another thing when I came up, if you're a stand-up even then, you could have talked to other stand-ups and they would have said, you know what, these are things that can go wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
I had no one. There was no one who, I'm not saying 'cause I was special, but what I was doing, it was a new style of guerrilla TV, and I didn't know I didn't have anyone that I could, the only person I knew was Dennis Pennis, who I love, Dennis Pennis, Paul Kay, who I'm still a massive fan of. But he completely fucked up. So, like, he was worse than me. So
there was no one to have a frame of reference.
I'd love to have had a slightly elder statesman.
Yes.
Just put his arm around me and go, look, you're having a great time here, but let's just, you know, just be careful not to do that. And I made Trigger Happy with Absolutely, which is Absolutely Productions, which was the Absolutely sketch show people. And they were lovely. They were older comedians than me, but they were doing a very different type of comedy. And they felt like they were from another era. Like, wasn't not because I didn't like them, but it just didn't feel relevant to what the things I was going through. So I definitely learned on the job.
Do you find that now, when you're doing work that you love and work that you're proud of, do you clock that you're enjoying it in the moment a lot more?
There's nothing I like more. And actually, because for ages I just did stuff for me. You know, I went off traveling, which I love doing, and writing, and I love writing. I love creating.
Yeah.
Like, when I write a book, when I've finished a book, I'm just such a narcissistic, needy little fuck. I'm just like, please read this. It's really good. If I do radio, radio is slightly different because I'm being a presenter. That's different. But when I'm filming with Sam, I'm just like, I'm like a little kid. Yeah. So I've got a terrible need to please somehow, you know. But I think that's what we are, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you, but certainly as stand-ups.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Okay. There you go. Yeah.
Dom Joly, thank you so much.
That was really good.
That was such a joy.
That felt like therapy in a good way. It was
in
quite
a
nice.
good way.
Yeah.
So you have had
Good
it.
therapy is therapy's good after all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was actually just one big lure to get you into therapy.
With therapy,
there's no podcast.
You should have just said, "What do you think?" Because that's all they say in therapy.
Yes.
Isn't it? Just,
Yeah.
do you
Why do you think
I don't
that?
fucking know. You tell me. That's what I'm here for. Thank you very much. That was great.
Thank you,
you.
Dom.
Yeah,
that was
thank you.
really great.
Like and subscribe to us on YouTube or at Instagram at Remember Me or on our TikTok page at Remember Me MDS. And you can also follow and watch us on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
Danny, what does MDS mean?
Mic Drop Studios, like and subscribe.
Sorry, yes, Mic Drop Studios, like and subscribe, says producer Danny. You can email us at rememberme@micdropstudios.com. And you can also visit us at micdropstudios.com/rememberme. Don't forget to leave your comments below about today's episode. We do read every single one. Until next week, goodbye.
Bye.